As I said in my penultimate video, I'm going out on a limb. I'm not saying thus saith the Lord. Not about this first part. I will share some dreams at the end that I will say, I believe with all my heart these are prophetic. But this first part, no. It's a thought that seemed to have gotten downloaded into my mind around about Inauguration Day. I felt strongly that President Trump will be reinstated as the President of the United States, but perhaps under a different name. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know anything about politics, really, and I don't care to. I don't look up to any human beings. I love human beings, especially the lost, because I'm terrified for their futures, but I don't look up to or admire human beings. I admire certain traits. And there's something, you know, I feel something for President Trump. I can't dislike the man at all. I can't even really dislike who I call Resident Biden. Biden. I can't even dislike him. I just can't. Maybe it's Jesus in me. But I felt very, very strongly that this man will be reinstated, but that as soon as he is, he will change. And I heard the word turncoat in my mind, that when he is reinstated, he does regain power, he will be a turncoat and he will show his true colours. And I saw in my mind, like I say, it's not an actual vision, it's just like a mind thought vision, if you know what I mean. I saw him wearing something like this, and I saw his hand inside his vest there, like that, and that is very Masonic. And I felt like he was going to rule and reign in this country throughout the first half of the tribulation, which I believe is about to commence. So this man, who I call resident, because he wasn't elected, he was more like selected, Resident Biden, Mike from around the world has seen, he saw it well over a year ago, a vision of somebody in a casket in the White House. He didn't say who it was, and he still hasn't said who it was, but at the time when he said it, I immediately thought, I could see in my mind that it was this man. Now I'm saying, I want to let you know I'm not saying thus saith the Lord about any of this first part. It's just a feeling that got dropped into my soul about 10 days ago. I can't shake it. So, if this man does die, then that would make this very likely, I guess. Like I say, I'm not a political person, and I don't know how all of these things work. But, I mean, if he does get into power again, the world will be like, what? It will be a massive shock. So, what makes me think this is possible is a couple of dreams that I had back to back about 4 or 5 months ago before I moved into this hotel. I don't know what this first dream means, if it has any relation to the second dream, but I'll tell you what I dreamt anyway. This might be for a lot of believers. I was fishing at a pond, and I no sooner caught this fish. It was a medium-sized fish, maybe a bit bigger than this one, and I no sooner took it out of the pond than I landed it in a frying pan that was already hot and burning, with the fire underneath it. And the interpretation came immediately when I woke up that, we are to be fishers of men. We are to win souls to Christ. I no sooner caught this fish or won this soul to Christ, a soul fish, I just thought of that, then the fish went straight into the frying pan or the tribulation. Didn't really have a chance to get saved. They received the gospel but didn't really get saved, and then they went into the tribulation. That's quite a shocking dream. And then straight after that, I had this dream. This was me, but it wasn't me. I was sitting on the floor like this girl in the middle of a room, and there were people standing around. It was like pre-dinner drinks, cocktails, people standing around, well-dressed, talking, well-to-do people, and I was just this lonely girl. It wasn't me, Kim Durant, but I was representative of this girl, a lonely, lowly nobody, really. No love, no food, no nothing. Just not part of anything or anyone. And I was sitting there and looking around at all the well-dressed people, and all of a sudden, into the room walked President Trump. He was tall, resplendent, charismatic, shaking hands with everybody, smiling. Everybody looked at him, admired him. And then he walked over to me. And he looked down at me with a lot of love in his face. It was amazing. It was palpable. It was like, wow, the love that was on this man's face. And he put his hand out to me. I took his hand. He pulled me up. I stood up. I looked into his face and I just hugged his chest. He was really tall and strong and protective, and I felt loved. I felt protected. And he hugged me, and it was an extraordinary feeling. Now, when I woke up from both of these dreams, because they were one after the other, I had the interpretation straight away. In this one, President Trump represents the Antichrist. I don't believe for a second he is the Antichrist. He might be a John the Baptist to the true Antichrist, but in the dream, it needed to be somebody that I knew. As this lowly girl, I knew and trusted, somebody who was familiar, and when he offered me love and help, it was extraordinary. I believe that God put Donald Trump in that dream so that it would show me that the real Antichrist, and I believe I know who he is, but I can't be sure. Who can be sure at this stage? God showed me Donald Trump because it needed to be somebody that I trusted, somebody that I knew, and somebody who would help me. So I believe that this dream is showing me so I can let people know this is how the Antichrist is going to win the hearts and minds and worship of the common people, the lowly common people, and even a lot of the well-to-do people. it was like, wow. I was blown away. So I don't believe for a second that President Trump is the Antichrist. But God used a familiar face, a person that I had a liking for, a certain amount of trust for. And that's how it's going to happen, and it's quite shocking. So I thought I'd put all of this out there. I like to document my dreams, my visions, thoughts, so that I've got a record of them. Once again, I'm not saying thus saith the Lord about the previous thing, but I do believe these dreams are prophetic. They are from the Lord. And as to the former thing, time will tell. Okay, thanks for listening. God bless you. And as always, I say, Maranatha, Lord Jesus.